How's it going, everyone? Today I'll be using this Deadpool aggression deck to take on the Collector 1 scenario on Heroic difficulty, part of my channel challenge of trying to beat every scenario on Heroic difficulty using a different hero, and continuing the home stretch here, the second scenario of the Galaxy's Most Wanted expansion, which represents the final 5 scenarios that I have to complete in this challenge. If you've been following my channel, I have played a game with Deadpool already. This was against Juggernaut, but I did redo that matchup with Groot. So since I'm trying to use a different hero for every matchup, here I've got Groot notched for Juggernaut, so Deadpool was freed up again, which I did, intentionally to free up Deadpool for some of the more difficult scenarios coming here. And I think he lines up really well with Collector. Being able to rush and win pretty fast. Collector is a scenario where the inevitability is kind of against you because of the way he adds cards to the collection. You can only remove one card from the collection each turn, so you've got to be able to win kind of quick because there are going to be certain sequences of encounter cards that you just can't really come back from outside of just ending the game. It'll be hard to really stabilize here. And so Deadpool is, one of the best heroes in the game at doing a rush and just playing out his combo to try to win the game. So, the short of it is, we stick on the symbiote suit, get up to 19 max hit points, and then between maximum effort and this card is fire, very easy to shred down the villain and win the game. Even if we would die, in hero form, we just flip to alter ego form. So we maybe have to worry about the main scheme still, play around advance as always, but very hard to lose. And then at some point we just assemble this 2-card combo and likely win the game. So a lot of that is the same as the Juggernaut video, if you watched that. But in the Juggernaut video, I was playing a lot of tough statuses and really making sure we could survive the Juggernaut scenario where there's all these overkill attacks and all these extra encounter cards that deal damage. But today we are fully dedicated to the combo and to the rush strategy. So let's see. Let's start bottom up a little bit. We got Symbiote Suit, Endurance, and 3 copies of X-Force Recruit. So Endurance just increases our hit points a little bit more, gives us some routes to win, maybe if we don't draw the Symbiote Suit, or if the Symbiote Suit gets discarded from us, maybe if it's captured in the collection. Gives us a little bit of a backup plan. Might not be as explosive of a finish as the Symbiote Suit gives us with the plus 10 hit points, but it's still worth it, I think. 3 X-Force Recruit. So the primary purpose here is to have something to discard on the same turn that we play the Symbiote Suit, because Collector 1 has 2 Caught Off Guards and 2 copies of Inconspicuous Box, which is Caught Off Guard for your lowest cost upgrade. So with X-Force Recruit here, we don't invest our whole turn to play Symbiote Suit and then just have it chopped out from under us. So X-Force Recruit gives us some insurance there. One thing we need to be really careful of, and I don't even know if I have the luxury to play around this, but if we die in hero form, go to 1, go to alter ego form, and then we lose an Endurance or an X-Force Recruit, I'm 90% sure that just makes us lose because we lose the hit points associated there, and we're in alter ego form. There's no way. We don't have this ability to not die there, and it's not even like damage. It's just like our hit points fall off, and I think that would kill us. So we've got to be a little cautious there, but I think just protecting the Symbiote Suit is worth it there. Yeah, and then we can play around that situation a little bit as well. Moving up, we've got 3 copies of Full Body Charge. This is just more damage, right? It's the aggression event that does the most damage, so it lets us convert the maximum amount of possible resources in hand into damage, and fairly efficiently 8 damage for 5 resources, 1.6 damage per resource. We'd love to see 2, but the way it lets you spend your whole hand to do damage as well, I think it's pretty nice. The other thing that's really nice here is we've got the patrol bots, that's not what they're called, servant bots in this scenario, that are 3 health minions with guard. So Full Body Charge is kind of nice. It lets us attack, get that out of the way, but still push some damage onto Collector with the overkill. So Full Body Charge is kind of nice for Deadpool, and he's very often going to have less than half his starting hit points. 3 Plan of Attack. This is to help with the combo, helping us find this card is fire or maximum effort. Assess the situation, I'll lump in IPAC here. These are basically like, we really just want to find the symbiote suit and find the combo attacks. So these are really just cycling the deck. Nothing too special there. Keep up the pressure is an important one. This might be a way to help us, find our combo pieces, especially if we see both copies of one of them early. Like, it's a way to get a combo piece back from the discard. Another thing it can let us do is, like in hero form, it can let us find maximum effort, which can allow us to take our full hit points to flip down, get our tutor ability, and then flip back to hero form to do this card as fire. So keep up the pressure, as most sides games do, adds a lot of consistency to this strategy. IPAC, we're not planning to use it liberally here just to draw on counter cards. We're going to save it for the turn that we hope to win, right? It's just paying 2 resources to eventually draw 2 resources later. Then we've got Mutant Education. So this, again, if we draw both copies of either of these, it can help us reshuffle them back into the deck so that we can search them up with Deadpool's Alter Ego ability. That's really what they're there for here. And then one copy of Toe-to-Toe here. Toe-to-Toe is here as a way to, similar to what I was just describing with Keep Up the Pressure. If we start the turn in hero form, we want to be able to kill ourselves so we can flip back, use the tutor ability, and then flip back to hero form to play whatever we drew off the tutor ability. So Toe-to-Toe is just one more way, in addition to maximum effort, or possibly even Yoo-Hoo, to have ourselves die in hero form so that we can flip down, tutor, and flip back. So really that is the strategy here. I'm not 100% just try to rush, because we can control things pretty well. Like my plan is basically to get Exhausting Personality turn 1, get that stun and confuse. Like, we can spend a few turns removing stuff from the collection. We can kind of bide our time a little bit. But then whenever we play the symbiote suit, like we're committed to playing that basically with this deck configuration. Because right, we can't spend forever because of the inevitability is against us in the scenario. But like, we don't need to win on like turn 2 every single time. We can go to 3 or 4 turns. Because of how hard it is to die, we can remove some number of cards from the collection just to not sprint to our death there. So we'll see. We'll have to see how it goes, obviously. But I'm thinking more in the 3 to 4 turn range as opposed to like a 2-turn clock. Okay, but yeah, that's what we've got here. Sorry we went a little long. That was a bit of a long deck breakdown, but a really, really particular deck here for the scenario. Yeah, pretty well tuned to the scenario. But, Deadpool is this is kind of one of the best ways to play him anyways, no matter what scenario you're facing. Just try to rush it as fast as possible. Maybe we'd play a few more allies if we were not explicitly just trying to rush in this kind of scenario. But yeah, so very, very scenario specific, I will say, but it makes for really fun games. So, okay, let's talk about the collector scenario. Let's take a look at the Collector 1 scenario, just in case you're less familiar with the scenario or want to get some strategy tips for your own games. So the Collector is, like I said in the deck breakdown, one of the hardest scenarios in the game, and that's all because of this collection mechanic, which the designers made a little too punishing, I believe. But essentially the collection is this game area where cards will go throughout the game. Collector has a forced interrupt. When a card would be placed into a discard pile from play, put it face up into the collection instead. So that means it's, doesn't go to your discard pile, it goes to the collection, and that counts for player cards or for encounter cards. So minions or attachments that would get discarded are going to go into the collection. And then we have an alternate loss condition where if there are at least 5 cards in the collection, we lose the game. Now we do have an ability on the main scheme to exhaust your hero or spend 2 resources of any type to discard 1 card from the collection. So we can combat it there, but as I also kind of said in the deck breakdown, right, it's capped at once per round per player. So especially playing on Heroic, where we're getting 2 encounter cards every turn, if we were to just play a normal game where we're blocking with allies, we're clearing minions as they come up, but then we're getting 2 encounter cards per turn, like we could easily be averaging over 1 card put into the collection every turn. So it's really just not that sustainable to play a normal game with like 10 allies like I usually have, and clearing things as we go, and then eventually winning once we stabilize. It's not that crazy to say we will never stabilize this game, hence the Deadpool deck where we go for the semi-rush win. So let's look at the collector's cards. In addition here, in Conspicuous Box, this is put the lowest cost card you control face up into the collection, if not Surge. So just a straight up add another card to the collection. Another copy of Caught Off Guard here, same as the standard set here, discard an upgrade or support. Biogram Image, this is an attachment that prevents an amount of damage collector would take. Then we move that card into the collection. A minion that, would go to the collection if we defeat her. 2 copies of View the Cosmos. Choose to either put the highest cost card from our hand into the collection or discard it and place threat equal to its cost on the main scheme. So we've got a little bit of a choice there. We could avoid putting something in the collection there, but that's another way we might end up throwing something in the collection. Stay a while. In Alter Ego, we either spend 2 physical resources or put the top card of our deck in the collection. Hero form, he attacks. If it damages us, we put a card in the collection. So clearly just everything going on here is to put cards in the collection. Then we've got, I've got the 2 recommended modular sets here. I don't think either one is required. Oh no, so okay, Galactic Artifacts is required, but then Menagerie Medley is just a recommended one. That can be changed. So we've got the Galactic Artifacts here. I laid them all out. We'll be having these 2 scenarios in a row here with the Collector 2 scenario as well, so you can get a look at them. We've got 4 side schemes. Notably, these all have victory, so they won't actually go to the collection. They'll go to the victory display. But they've got some, a reasonable amount of threat here. They've all got 5 threat, but then when defeated, they actually give us a bonus. So depending on how the game pans out, we might actually take some extra time to defeat these in order to get their bonus, which in many cases is very strong. Like Crystal Ball, play a card from hand, reducing its cost by 3. Like that might be worth spending whatever resources we need to thwart it down for 5. Magical Teapot is one we might just clear because it's got a hazard icon. Then we've got 5 of these attachments. So again, they're attachments, so if they would ever get discarded, they go to the collection, which is pretty annoying. Power Wand is a hazard icon, so really, stinks to see that, but then even if we discard it, it goes to the collection, so that's just pretty rough. The potion here shrinks our stats, maybe livable. Cloak of Hercules gives plus attack, so probably not that bad here. In a typical scenario, just blocking with allies can mitigate any attack buff there, but in Deadpool's case, we can just take it and die. It might not be so bad. Amplify doesn't matter a ton here. The Poison, this is a really nasty one, and this one can actually kill Deadpool, because with Deadpool, we're always looking out for ways that we could take damage in Alter Ego form, so that if we use our ability to survive on 1 health, something could die there when we don't have our hero ability active, and this will deal us a damage at the start of our turn. And it just costs 3 resources to discard, so pretty annoying card. Then we've got Menagerie Medley, which is these 9 minions. 3 Servant Bots, I mentioned this one in the deck breakdown. Only 3 health, but it's got Guard and Patrol, so it could slow us down a little bit if we're going for just a straight rush strategy. 4 Psionic Ghost has a when revealed of You Are Confused. Getting confused probably doesn't matter too much, but it does get put into play if it's drawn as a boost card, so that can be kind of annoying. And then 2 Star Shark here will Quick Strike in hero form, dealing indirect damage. So probably has a little bit too much health for us to maybe care about defeating, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see how much we can control the game. So yeah, as you can see here, 9 minions, 5 attachments here that would go to the discard pile, and then pretty much every one of Collector's cards, interacts with the collection as well. The standard modular set maybe interacts with the collection the least, but advance is never a nice thing to see anyways. So that's just what we're up against here, because if we get to 5 cards in the collection, we lose. We can remove 1 per turn, spending some resources or our activation to do so, but very often we'll be drawing 2 cards that either directly put something in the collection or will eventually go to the collection. So 3 to 4 turns is like I said, kind of my goal for how long this should take, because maybe we get 3-ish cards put in the collection, we remove a few, and can win before things get too far out of hand. The other thing I should mention here, I'm not sure if I said this explicitly in the deck breakdown, but Collector doesn't actually have that many hit points. He's got 14 hit points in Stage 2 and 18 hit points in Stage 3, and that 18 is really nice, because if we have Symbiote Suit on Deadpool, his max hit points are 19, so if he goes down to 1, then this card is fired, does exactly 18 damage. So that actually lines up really well, and that's true for any scenario where the final stage of the villain has less than 18 health. Deadpool can one-shot them with this card as fire and Symbiote Suit out. Okay, that is what we've got for the scenario. So we talked about the deck, broke down the scenario. Let's get ready for the game. Setting up here, first we got to shuffle the deck, because then we're going to resolve the setup ability on main scheme 1A, where we create the collection and start by putting the top card of our deck into the collection. Then Collector Stage 2 when revealed. Each player must either put the top card of their deck face up into the collection or take 3 damage. So my inclination is just to put a card into the collection. Costs us an activation either way, essentially. Although, no, actually, now that I say that out loud, if I do take the damage, I can just recover it right back. And well, if I just take the damage, I don't risk losing a card in this first deck pass. Not that we need the Symbiote Suit to win, but like that would be the worst case scenario. Well, the first one we've got no choice. Montage goes to the collection. Then, you know what? I will just take 3 from the Collector. Oops, what am I doing? Okay, so I'll draw my opening hand. And then shuffle the encounter deck while I think about it. So It Ain't Over is always a good card. It Ain't Over Endurance, at least these are things to play. Can make an efficient turn out of Endurance, It Ain't Over, Assess the Situation, and Exhausting Personality. Kind of tread water a little bit. But sticking it over on the main scheme takes away one of the loss conditions as I dawdle for a couple turns before trying to win. Okay. Yeah, I think I like that, but I will maybe... I guess if I like that, I just wouldn't mulligan anything. If I do mulligan and hit like Symbiote Suit, maybe that would be a little better. I'm just gonna try this. I'm kind of happy with this. Let's just roll with this. All right. So let's discard Maximum Effort to search up Exhausting Personality. I just completely, missed it. Okay, there it is. Go to hero form. Going to, and there's only one card in the collection. Yeah, let's just assume we can keep playing the fair game for a while. I'm gonna exhaust to remove this from the collection. Exhausting personality, acceleration, stun, confuse. Audacity for it ain't over. Audacity will deal 1. Overpay here for an endurance, go up 3. Guess maybe endurance is something that could get sniped by a caught off guard, so maybe I shouldn't have played it, but it's probably better than surging on average, I don't know. And assess the situation. End the turn. 6 card hand size with the assess. 2 threat on the main scheme up to 6 out of 12. Collector is stunned. 2 encounter cards. Crystal Ball and Master Plan. Oh, sorry. Just have it there. That'll mean Crystal Ball gets an extra 4 threat. So it comes in with 5 plus 4. And I don't think I'll be clearing that. That doesn't seem worth getting an acceleration off the board. So very good turn 1. All right. Yeah, see if we can set up a 2-turn lethal here then. Do need to be a little bit careful about the main scheme. Wish I had drawn like a Yoo-hoo. But there's a whole lot of complicated stuff I can do here, because I can go keep up the pressure, thwart it, get a maximum effort, use that to flip down, tutor up anything else, like a Yoo-hoo. No, sorry, I won't be able to recover if I do that. If I just stay in hero form this turn, I can kind of just do all that next turn too, and not risk and advance as much. I feel like it's one of those things where like it could just be like a sneaky lethal somewhere that I'm just not smart enough to see. Probably, I don't think so. This would be too much, I think. So if I wanted to mutant education, I could get maximum effort, exhausting personality back. Don't really need to get, I still have another maximum effort, and I'm gonna probably play this keep up the pressure. So it's either just, I guess, just full body charge, or like katana plus assess the situation. Probably just full body charge. I mean, katana represents 4 damage. Assess represents an extra card. I feel like I should be able to win from getting him down to 5 next turn. Let's just think about the main scheme here. It's going to add 3. Assuming I don't thwart it at all, that'll go up to 9. Advance obviously ends it. I mean, it would be perfect if I could use keep up the pressure to get a Yoo-hoo, but that doesn't really work. So yeah, I guess I stay in hero form. Okay. I gotta see if I can play around dying to, or not dying to endurance getting discarded. That's where Katana could have an advantage, at least against Caught Off Guard, but not against Box. All right, let's just do stuff. Play up, keep the pressure. 4 for full body charge, 8 damage to Collector, down to 5. If I do flip down, is Symbiote Suit a guaranteed win and we just dodge advance? If I stay here, I'm going to get attacked for 2 plus a boost. If endurance gets discarded, that I won't die. So much for being worried about the collection. I mean, I guess I built my deck to avoid putting cards in the collection, but it's literally at 0. I've got so much margin there. I'm thinking if I attack, then does that give me somehow a different route to lethal? Maybe I thwart plus a flip down. If I thwart plus a flip down, it'll go up to 7. Collector would, if he drew in advance, would need to draw 2 boost icons. The flip down feels kind of good. Feels like I've got a good chance to set up a lethal if I do that. But I will hedge with a thwart here. Okay, I'm going to thwart and flip down and end the turn. Okay, didn't draw the suit. We drew maximum effort and double this card as fire. Not that I could play both anyways. 3 on the main scheme. Up to 7, Collector confused. 2 encounter cards. Another side scheme, geez, drawing every side scheme card. And then the Cloak of Hercules, which doesn't matter. So this comes in with 5 threat. Again, don't think I'm going to be clearing that. So let's do a lethal check here. Second maximum effort is in the bin, so I can't do 2 maximum effort. No, I can with keep up the pressure. I could flip, thwart, keep up the pressure, take 4 down to 5 to deal 5. Comes in at 18, maximum effort to take 4 more, dealing 5 down to 13. This card is fire. I'll have 11 sustained damage. So it'll do 12 and it'll be left at 1. Because it's 5 plus 5 plus 12. 5 plus 12 makes 17, not 18. Yes, of course. Okay, how does this work? I Yoo-hoo, keep up the pressure rather than thwart it. I think that's neutral because I'm forced to take 2 damage to do Yoo-hoo. That's 2 less damage that I can put into a maximum effort. Can I play 2? This card is fire? No. Okay, what if I recover instead of thwarting this, I recover up to 12. Yoo-hoo for 2 down to 10 to clear that. Draw maximum effort. Maximum effort for 4. Ah, sick. Okay. Recover up to 12. Flip. Pay 1 for Yoo-hoo. Take 2 damage to clear, keep up the pressure. Get maximum effort. Every attack is +1. Maximum effort for 4. Dealing 5. Put the top card of our deck in the collection. 1 threat on the main scheme up to 8. Comes in on 18. Maximum effort, taking 5 to deal 6. And then this card is fire. We have 11 sustained damage. Does +1 from keep up the pressure. Holy cow. For 12 damage. All right, let me just read this again to make sure that's how that's supposed to work. Until the end of the phase, each attack event deals 1 additional damage. That's an attack. That's an attack. I think that was legit. It feels so weird that it landed exactly. Obviously, we got completely irrelevant encounter cards, so like that didn't put a barrier with us at all. Should be a legit win, I hope. I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna play this at least once, maybe 2 more times, just to like see how consistent that was. Feels like it might not be because of how we got it exactly there, but it's also not like, I mean, we could have conducted a turn there where we ended up not even close to dying and could have just outlasted a little bit longer. Maybe the box is always risky to take out our endurance out from under us, but we'll see. Okay, yeah, that's my official win, but if you want to watch some more to see if it's a consistent win, then I'll play a couple more games here. Here we go for game number 2. I did actually make one change, which is that I took out 1 copy of Plan of Attack and added the 3rd copy of Mutant Education. So Mutant Education, initially I was thinking it's just in here for the combo to help get those pieces back in the deck, but I actually think it's worth it just to reshuffle Exhausting Personality, because that card is so insanely strong that even though Mutant Education technically is like 1 ER for no immediate value, like the fact that it gives me the option to get Exhausting Personality back in the deck and then draw that with Wade's ability, I mean, like, we'd happily pay 2 ER for the effect of Exhausting Personality, so I think that makes it worth it. And then Plan of Attack is very cuttable, right? It's kind of niche that we would be in a situation where we can't just get what we need from our hero ability, that we also want to do a Plan of Attack to go for the combo kill. So just a little change there. Then I'm also going to try a different approach from the collector's ability. So I think I'm going to put a 2nd card in the collection as opposed to taking 3 damage. We just use our life as a resource so much for one thing, but also like the first game ended with 0 cards in the collection. So I wonder if I can be a little bit looser with that. Now granted, we had like the most inconsequential villain phases possible, but I think I'm okay with starting with 2 in the collection. And I mean, odds are I'll remove 1 from the collection turn 1 anyways, so it's not like that pushes us so close to the edge. And let's see if we can maybe get the symbiote suit out this game. Okay, you might see a really quick, you might see a cut there. I liked my intro on the change in deck I made, but then I started drawing my hand before actually doing the collector thing. So got to go back and do the collector thing. I think I said in there, yeah, I think I'll leave in the part where I said I'm going to put 2 cards in the collection at the start. So let's do that. It in over and maximum effort. Not 2 cards I wanted to see in the collection, but what can you do? All right, reshuffle here since it's been a cut since you saw me shuffle it. This looks like a full mulligan, actually. We can mulligan it all here. Just looking for the suit primarily again. But yeah, there's honestly not much to play out here, so could maybe make an argument for keeping the katana, because it's just like, it's something to play at least. Okay, I'm gonna keep the katana. It's something to play, gives me an efficient turn with 3 ER for katana, 2 for discarding something, 1 for exhausting personality. But we'll see what we draw. All right, not too much relevant here. So we'll discard a card, get exhausting personality. I am kind of glad that I didn't draw either of the combo pieces, so I'm not wasting those yet. So instead of spending 2, I can just play X-Force Recruit and assess the situation and still play the katana, or I could skip the katana, flip to hero form, exhausting personality, acceleration, stun, confuse. Could also just rip a full body charge, which I honestly don't hate. I don't hate the idea of just not even playing any upgrades that the collector could steal. I mean, full body charge is going to do way more damage than Deadpool's katana would. I think we just full body charge. Pay 4, full body charge, 8 damage. Question is then just what do we do with Deadpool? I think we'll leave the main scheme alone for now and just exhaust to remove maximum effort from the collection. End the turn. Well, I could do it again. Kind of a weird hand. All right, 2 threat on the main scheme, up to 6. Collector is stunned. 2 encounter cards. Servant bots, okay. Stay a while. It's going to be collector attacks with +1. No use defending. So 3 plus a boost of 3 is 6, down to 3. And then since it dealt damage, place the top card of our deck face up into the collection. All right. Well, full body charge would take out the servant bot. That's the most likely thing I'm going to do. I could also just do 2 resources for the collection, play Mutant Education, play Keep Up the Pressure for the combo turn. I don't end up clearing Servant Bot or removing any threat off the main scheme, though. Also, just by doing full body charge, I might just open up lethal next turn. So I think, oh, I got to remember, so because we've got Audacity, it'll actually advance Collector, which will put a card in the collection and put 3 threat on the main scheme. Ooh, I could do 2 if I remove 1 with Deadpool first. That's still gonna pop it though. So I've actually done too much damage here. think I do the slightly lamer play. I think I'm still flipping down. I wish toe-to-toe could like... Oh wait, hold on. I was about to say, I wish toe-to-toe could just be like any enemy and not just the villain. But it is any enemy, so I could toe-to-toe the servant bot. That maybe doesn't look too bad. That clears it out of the way. I just thwart the main scheme. We don't necessarily lose to an advance. We need to hit 0 boost, probably. All right, let's do this toe-to-toe on Servant Bot, spending Audacity. So Servant Bot attacks me for 1. Toe-to-toe deals 5 damage to it. And then is it Keep Up the Pressure or Mutant Education? It's my last Mutant Education, which is what I was just checking. If I want to get Exhausting Personality and just play longer, I should do Mutant Education. If I'm close to just winning, I should do Keep Up the Pressure. Honestly, maybe I don't even thwart the main scheme and I just concede to an advance. Because even if I thwart it for 2, it's going to go to 6. Advance would be 9 plus a boost. That's assuming I flip down for the hand size, but I could stay in this form as well. Get attacked, die. Possibly combo off next turn, probably not quite. One Yoo-hoo in the deck still. Okay, I'm gonna go slow. So I'm gonna pay 2 resources to discard 8 and over from the collection. Thwart the main scheme for 2. Flip down, Mutant Education. Exhausting Personality for sure. And then I'm even thinking about this Yoo-hoo. Or just get a combo piece back. I've got the Yoo-hoo in the deck already, if I really want it for next turn. Let's get a maximum effort back. And maximum effort I think is a little better than this card is fire. Because we might just be able to win by playing Symbiote Suit plus maximum effort at some point, if we can do this initial 6 damage somehow. Oh, and I think I missed my... I don't think I recorded my Audacity damage. We did 8 damage with the full body charge, then the Audacity. So kind of folding to advance here, but getting the hand size is huge, and then this guarantees popping off the Confuse so that Exhausting Personality has maximum effect. I think it's altogether possibly worth it. Well, okay, altogether more likely worth it than not, I would think. Okay, I am going out of order here because I'm trying to act and talk at the same time. So I just put the 2 threat on. Collector's Confused. We still have no upgrades to get caught off guarded, so that'll surge. Shadow of the Past. It's not that bad for Deadpool. Just a quick advance check to see if we lose. No, servant bot. Butler, this thing, these things. Well, unfortunately, these are a lot of cards that would go to the collection. It's probably the worst aspect of that Face the Past. Hand's looking all right, though. I can go Chimichanga Truck, Exhaust Recover, possibly just search up Yoo-Hoo to clear involuntary procedures. Might need to just do it on the main scheme instead. Consider, I guess, if I do the involuntary procedures, if it removes itself from the game, that should not go to the collection. All right, let's see if there's any chance of winning. I don't think so. No. Cable can take out Servant Bot. Two for Chimichanga Truck, 3 for Cable, 1 for probably Exhausting Personality. Doesn't kill anybody, I get an extra encounter card. But I like my odds of just winning the next turn. Or I Chimichanga Truck, maximum effort the Servant Bot, search up Yoo-Hoo, I don't like searching up Yoo-Hoo when Exhausting Personality is so good. Okay, I'm gonna live with this in play for a turn. Don't think I can skip the truck. Pay 2 for the truck, recover and ready, up to 9. Discard a card, maximum effort. No, not maximum effort, exhausting personality. I think there's lots of routes to winning next turn. I just need to survive and maybe get a bit lucky with what I draw. Flip to hero form, pay 3 for Cable. Cable attacks the Servant Bot for 3. Servant Bot goes to the collection. Exhausting Personality, Acceleration, Stun, Confuse. So this won't pop just from step 1. If I attack right now, then Cable plus me attacking next turn advances the stage. Oh, that's going to be too many cards in the collection, though. to survive the collector's ability. I think my path to victory, I think I have to Yoo-hoo the main scheme here at some point. Hopefully next turn. So let's just remove a card from the collection. With my activation, and then the turn. There's the Yoo-hoo. Oh, what a... okay. That second double would let me now play Symbiote Suit and Yoo-hoo. So 3 threat on the main scheme takes it to 9. Collector's stunned. Butler attacks for 1 whenever Deadpool takes damage. Place 1 threat on involuntary procedures. 3 encounter cards. All right, Mutated Soldier. I think I'm going to have to ignore that. Tough minion. Inconspicuous Box. Truck goes to the collection. Biogram Image is going to prevent an instance of taking damage and put threat on the main scheme equal to the damage prevented. All right. Well, I'm looking at Suit plus Yoo-hoo. Try to survive a 4 encounter card turn, and then win. Probably what's going on. I can also, might be some other opportunities. I could Yoo-hoo in order to flip myself down. And then tutor something up. Yoo-hoo plus, or no, just the minions attacking clears involuntary procedures. So I definitely take myself out with Yoo-hoo. It still might be correct to play the Symbiote Suit though. I don't know what else I would search up. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I still have maximum effort and this card is fire in the deck. Got the combo index still. So I think I've got a window to go for here over 2 turns with the Suit plus a Yoo-hoo. And we just have to cross our fingers. Cable's kind of notable. Cable just thwarts for 4. I would like to make an activation that deals as little damage to Collector as possible, since that amount of threat goes on the main scheme when we do that. Might just have to solve that next turn. Man, it in over would be really, really good. It would have gotten discarded to the box though. Because even if I Yoo-hoo, get it down to 1, it's going to go up 4 in step 1 up to 5. Collector's thing is going to put a whole bunch of threat on. Possibly don't need Symbiote Suit to win at this point. Yoo-hoo down to 1. Attack. Goes up to 3. Spend 2 to remove a card from the collection. Just keep Symbiote Suit in hand. No, well, there's still a power in all of us left. Quite a puzzle here. Not a puzzle that I'm sure has an answer. So if Cable attacks Collector just right now, no, that obviously doesn't work. I need to Yoo-hoo it first, down to 1. Then it gets a 3rd acceleration, then Cable attacks for 5. It'll go up to 6. Cable is going to be on thwarting duty at some point here. Okay, I think I should probably just play the suit, because actually Cable does a lot of thwarting at this point. So, let's pay 1 for Yoo-hoo. Taking 8. Oh, do I take, did I think about this already? Do I take the full 8? Because I'm not flipping down to tutor anything. It would just let me get back to hero form for the villain phase, which is where I need to be. Yeah, because that's the whole deal, because I was going to recover. Oh, now I can't even, how am I recovering? What about, nope. All right, let's just get moving. Let's Yoo-hoo, taking the full 8, we'll interrupt, go to 1, acceleration, remove 8 from the main scheme. Yeah, after we took that damage, place a threat here. I mean, yeah, I need to recover. This is the whole deal. Recover for 8, back up to 9. Flip. No, hold on. Do I need to recover if I'm playing the Symbiote Suit? I'll go up to 11. No, I think I don't need to recover then. Okay, yeah, sorry. I'll take back my recover down to 1. Then I'll flip. If I attack, it goes to the collection. It puts even more threat on the main scheme. But yeah, this is the smallest attack that I'm going to be able to do. So attack for 2, puts 2 threat on the main scheme up to 3. This goes to the collection. Pay 4 for Symbiote Suit, go up to 11. And what's Cable doing? Cable could obviously has enough attack to advance us, but then we would just lose. So I think Cable actually just thwarts here. Hoping to end the game next turn anyways, so no need to save his hit point for anything. That's the best we're going to get out of that. And let's end the turn. Definitely paths to victory, I think, here. Paths that involve avoiding the last copy of Caught Off Guard. Ooh, meta knowledge. Very nice one to have. 6 card hand size, of course, from the suit. 4 threat on in step 1. Collector attacks. Yep, obviously just take it. For 2 plus a boost of 1, there's that Caught Off Guard. So we'll go to 8, threat on here. We get attacked for 3 here, down to 5. So the first one of those, we'll put this at 10, which then removes it from the game. So remove from the game, so I'm 99% sure that means it wouldn't go to the collection. And now 3 encounter cards for the cost of the suit. Under fire, we're gonna probably meta knowledge the heck out of it, but then I don't have enough resources to do both of these. But with the Symbiote Suit, all I really need is all I really need is this card is fire. So I think I definitely cancel this, because this cancels all of its effects. So we'll pay the 1 there, and then take 1 damage for each boost icon, so we'll go down to 2. All right, gives me no breathing room. All right, Cloak of Hercules is irrelevant. The Psionic Ghost should be irrelevant. Okay, because that's going to confuse me. But I don't think we needed to thwart here at all. So, sick. What an awesome game. Okay. Cable will attack for 5. Oh, no, he's going to go to the collection. Ah, foiled. Otherwise, I was going to be able to attack for 2, and then this card is fire for the remaining. So close, so close. Is there anything I can do? Well, that's why not to activate Cable, because he just goes to the collection. So close. Does maximum effort do anything? Oh, I'm just 1 resource away. It's not like I can just not meta knowledge there, though. I maybe should have. Well, I didn't fully think through the Cable going to the collection. That was my mistake. All right, I'm going to give this a try. I'm going to take 2 with maximum effort. Puts acceleration here. We'll go to 1 instead. We'll flip down. Deal 2 damage to Collector. Recover for 9. Up to 10. This gives me a possible way to survive, I think. Flip for turn to hero form. X-Force Recruit, Cable, 2 resources, discard a card from the collection. Shuffle this since I cut the video. I need to defend and not take too many boost icons, and then obviously survive every single other encounter card. Or wait, no, what am I talking about? No, because we just die. Okay, there's maybe something here. There's maybe something, okay. I might need to defend and attack. Cable won't activate, we'll end the turn. So go through the deck. Okay, 5 threat on the main scheme, step 1. I mean, how good would it in over be here? Collector attacks, we take it for 5 plus a boost of 0. Well, now I don't need to defend. Okay. We'll take 5 from here. The last one will take me out. Acceleration token. Flip down. 3 encounter cards. Okay, I actually have a little bit of a chance here. Because I've even got a confusion to stop 1 advance. So yeah, let's just see what happens. Psionic Ghost, we will die. Okay, that's one way to do it. All right, shoot. Well, obviously made a mistake turn 1 with putting a second card in the collection. Shadow of the Past hurt, Under Fire hurt. We were 1 card in the collection away from winning, so yeah, I am definitely going to try again. Sorry, this is going to make it a long video because that was a long game, but I keep learning, and I mean, if I didn't activate Cable that one turn, you know, maybe we have it. So keep learning, and I think I want to try again, try to get a win with a more relevant draw out of the encounter deck than that first game. Attempt number 3 here. Haven't changed anything for the deck this time. I don't know exactly how long that thinking was in game 2. In my time, it ended up being a pretty long game, but I think I've got room in the video to fit a third one without making it overly long. So we'll see how this goes. Hopefully this isn't too long. But I want to see if I can get a win where the collector actually puts up a little bit of a fight, or at least get a win that incorporates the symbiote suit. All right, so main scheme 1 puts a card in the collection, but then I'm going to take the 3 damage this time for the second, or for the collectors when revealed. Take a look at the opening hand. Possibly keep up the pressure, because it can really solve the additional options it gives me to try to win on any given turn is really a lot. And then I think the rest are just mulligans to look for the suit. Let's keep up the pressure. Mulligan 5. Okay. So seeing if I can mutant education here. This card is fire. It's maybe worth it if I've got nothing else to do, but bit of a weird hand. Not as much to do as I would like. I don't want to have to think about armed to the teeth. Well, plus it swaps, so it has to swap a weapon that I already control. So yeah, that's just not going to happen in this game. I could search up a Yoo-Hoo since I already have Exhausting Personality in hand. Search up a Yoo-Hoo, play that. I don't hate that. All right, let's discard Mutant Education, get a Yoo-Hoo. This does mean I've only got one discard as fire in the deck right now then. Flip to hero form. Unfortunately, montage kind of goes to waste, but I just want to keep cycling the cards. Get out, keep up the pressure. I guess keep up the pressures. You know, if I do draw that second, this card is fire. Keep up the pressure will help me get it. Get one back. Exhausting Personality. Acceleration. Stun. Confuse. Pay one for... Well, pay these... Well, I guess montage makes 2 resources. To discard, assess the situation from the collection. So I could keep one of these cards in hand if I want. I don't think so, though. I mean, keeping Mutant Education would let me get the Exhausting Personality back. I think I want to just keep digging, though. So let's Yoo-Hoo. Let's do the full 4. So we'll go down to 2, 4 threat off the main scheme. Deadpool attacks for 2. Discard Mutant Education, end of turn. There is the suit. That's probably what we play here. Unfortunately, no doubles, so I don't get to also play X-Force Recruit. But we'll deal with it. I really want to see how a game goes when I do play the suit. 2 threat on the main scheme. Stun. Psionic Ghost, we're confused. Servant Bot. So let's just play the suit. Let's not mess about. I could possibly like play Cable and hold the suit. But let's just have a game where we just all out go for the combo. Symbiote Suit, plus 10. Attack the Servant Bot for 3, goes to the collection. And flip down so that we can just try to win. Yeah. Because, yeah, I'm just going to flip down and end the turn. Seven card hand. 2 threat on the main scheme. Up to 4. Collector's confused. The Psionic Ghost scheme is for 2. 3 encounter cards for the game. Irrelevant, irrelevant, irrelevant. Okay, well, I guess that's kind of just what we need to win the game. It's what we got in the first game, and we got it again here. So, yep, we do a full recover. Obviously, this is, I'll just, that's what a, that's so funny. All right, yep. We'll do a recover up to full. I think I just barely need it, or I could maximum effort plus attack. I think I've got it 20 different ways here. Flip to hero form. Maximum effort will take 18. Down to 1 to clear this stage. Comes in on 18. Collects a card. 2 threat. This card is fire for the win. All right. Well, that was a fun game. Yeah, I mean, can't really say that put up any more of a fight than the first game did. Obviously, I mean, Caught off guard, inconspicuous box, advance. I lose the game to like all of those. But, you know, there's a fair share of galactic artifacts and star sharks that wouldn't have done anything. So, yeah, I don't know. I won twice, which makes me at least feel like I didn't just hit the 1 in 100 chance with that first game. But yeah, sorry, that's probably all I'm gonna do here. Yeah, I'm just thinking about. Okay, that's probably all I'm gonna do. Would be interesting to see if we could kind of go the distance in a longer game. But this is kind of how we're hoping to win anyways. Like, as soon as we play the suit, we kind of concede to the various discard cards. And like advance is always going to be tough in this scenario. So yep, there we go. 2 for 3. If you happen to skip to the last game, which I wouldn't fault you for because my videos can be kind of long. I did actually win the first game, as you might have inferred from how I was talking about things there. But I drew basically like, 4 of these kinds of encounter cards that just literally didn't matter. And so I had the win pretty easily. Wanted to play again just to see if I could win a longer game, try to play a game where the encounter deck at least fought back a little bit. And then game 3 here didn't fight back at all. So we got the win again. That's Deadpool for you. Very fast rusher when the cards align. We got the Symbiote suit turn 2 that game, which was way earlier than I didn't play it at all game 1, and then I got it here or I didn't get it in game 2 very early at all. So maybe game 2 would have gone differently if I got the Symbiote suit earlier. But there we go. Collector is taken down. So we've got good momentum here in the Galaxy's Most Wanted. This is kind of one of the big 3 difficult ones in this wave. So 1 of those down, 2 to go. Next, we take another step down in difficulty as we do Collector 2, which is generally not that hard, but then, of course, we will end with Nebula and Ronan, 2 of the hardest scenarios in the game. So we're still going strong. Hope you'll join me for those. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.